Hello. Okay, today we're going to be fixing the tie rod on the Polaris Sportsman 570. So, as you can see, I'll try to zoom in on it. The tie rod is bent. There's probably a better view here. It's right in here. There's a nice bow on it. I think I did that when I was riding some really tight trails, and I pinched the tire between a stump on one side and probably a stump on the other, which bent the tie rod. So we'll put a new one on and do an alignment. And as you can see, my Predator's still all tore apart. Waiting on parts for it. Had to order some new valves, and I'll have a video on how to do that soon. So stay tuned, and we'll get that new tie rod on and get the quad aligned. Okay, I think I found a way to check my toe out. In the manual, owner's manual, they say to use a string. I do a lot of ski alignments on my snowmobiles, so I bought this piece of pretty rigid 3/4 inch black pipe. And instead of using a string, what I decided to do is prop this up in the middle of the tire. Make sure it's touching both tires in the back, or both spots across the back tire, and then at least one spot on the front tire. And as you can see here, we have a big gap, but it's touching up there on the front. So that bend in my tie rod obviously pulled the back side of the front tire in, which gave me more toe out than what I needed, or than what the spec calls for. I should have a 1/16 of an inch toe out, is what I'm looking for, 1/16 to an 1/8 inch, which would give me a 1/4 or a 1/8 to a 1/4 inch toe out altogether on the front end. Now what I'm looking for, what I'd like to set it as an 1/8 toe. So we'll adjust it when we get the new tie rod on. Okay, one thing I noticed when I was showing you the toe out, it's not as bad as I thought. What I found was my steering wheel wasn't straight. So after you do this, you're gonna wanna measure from tire to tire too, in the front to back of the front, to make sure that you're toed out no more than 1/4 of an inch. So I put my tape measure here. It looks like from the edge of this pipe to the side of my tire, I'm about 3/8 of an inch, and I want to be a 1/16. So definitely got to adjust this once I get the new tie rod in. Alright, bent tie rod. These nuts here were a 19 millimeter, I believe. Double check. Yep, 19 they are. All right, got the new tie rod on. I'm gonna leave the jam nuts loose until I get the wheel on and can do alignment. So we'll do that right now. Wow. Things a little bit off. Looks pretty good. Okay, what I learned during this part of the alignment is make sure your handlebars are straight and where you want them to be pointed, and then go ahead and make your adjustment, and then double check where your handlebars are, because I did find they turned a little bit and I had to keep going back and forth and double checking my adjustment and realigning it. Take your time. You want it right, so just take your time. And I ended up doing both sides, because once I got the one side where I wanted it, I found the other side was off, and then I actually even took it for a ride and came back and checked it again and realigned it again, because when you ride it you can kind of know, you can kind of get a feel for the way your handlebars are pointed and if you're tracking straight or not. If you got to have your handlebars turned left or right slightly, you know you got to redo it. So I rode mine and probably adjusted it 3 or 4 times and just double checked both sides. And maybe that's where the string would be easier. Problem is you got to have some sort of stands on the front to tie the string off to and go all the way around. And I didn't know what I'd have that would be stable enough, so I just used my pipe. Ended up working pretty good. The quad tracks straight now and has a nice alignment. So just wanted to let you know those details.